Hi, and welcome to HUR at Home. It's music night. I've been waiting for this all week. You know, we've been talking about it on the radio because we love these gentlemen, every single thing they do. They've been back in the studio. They've got a new single, Bittersweet, and we have been rocking it, as you know. Well, tonight we're going to do you one even better. It's Thursday night, so let's get to it. It's music night. Put your hands together for After 7. Starting with all my friends. We got Kevon up in here. We got Danny. We got Keith. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, hi, Angela.
Hello. Hi. Hi, Angela.
Wow. Hi. I know my energy is like way up here. You know, anybody who knows me, whenever I'm on the air at HUR and we're getting ready to play an After 7 song, I kind of say the same thing every time. This is my favorite band. I love the music. Love you guys. So
Thank
welcome
you.
back. It's,
Thank you.
you know, we haven't been able to have you in the studio, you know, for obvious reasons. But how are you guys doing? Starting with you, Kevon. How are you?
I cannot complain. Nobody listens anyway, but I'm doing fantastic. I'm just really through it all. I'm grateful more than anything. Just grateful to be on the set. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, really happy that you're here. And Daniel? Danny?
Yes, I'm grateful to be here myself. I'm grateful to be alive another year. Everybody's doing better. Everybody's getting
Yeah.
well, thinking about their health more, thinking about family and love more. So
Yeah.
it's good.
You're absolutely right. How about you, Keith? How you doing?
I'm blessed, highly favored, and we all are blessed to still be here and to have avoided the trappings of COVID-19, and our families are safe, and we're just ready to get back at music.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I mean, you guys took a bit of a hiatus and, you know, back in the studio. Why did you take such a long break?
Wow. It was a considerable break, but at the time, a lot of things happen. You know, life happens as you go. A lot of changes. I know. I in that time frame between the time that After 7 last recorded, I'd had two solo albums. We're gonna have to introduce the cat. You're gonna have to introduce the cat.
I know! He
Speaking,
refuses to go unacknowledged.
speaking,
Okay, Jasper. I'm
Jasper.
about to pick him up in a minute.
Yes,
His name's Jasper.
Okay. Hey, Jasper, we hear you.
what up,
Okay,
Jazz?
satisfied. He'll be making his rounds. You'll see him running back and forth behind me. So thank you for that. Come on. He wanted to be acknowledged.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said, what about me?
Absolutely. He deserves his spot too.
Yes.
You know, we recorded, the last time we recorded is After 7 was 96. In between that, I did 2 solo projects. And, you know, again, as I say, life kind of happens. And what we wound up doing was doing just performances. And part of that was, a lot of that had to do with the fact that my brother Melvin just didn't feel like recording anymore. You just felt like, you know what, I'm kind of done with that phase of my life with regards to recording. And I think we all kind of had a reluctance or reservation about recording again, because when you have a chunk of your work that's been displayed, and you wonder, how can you beat that? How do you beat that? So maybe you leave what you got intact, so you don't have to worry about, you know, wow, they had a great run. This was their heyday, and oh, but then they had this break. You know, so we didn't
Yeah.
feel good about the possibility of that. But then Melvin decided that, you know what, he was willing and open to record again, and that was the only way that we were going to go back into the studio at the time, was that if the original members decided to go back and see what it felt like. And when he made that decision was when we made that choice to stick a toe back in the water and see what it was.
Yeah. So glad that you did. And, you know, any of you can chime in at any time. And, you know, when we lost your brother, it was just a tragedy, you know, just, I'm sure, I mean, I know in your family and just in the whole music industry, you know. And to your credit, I'm glad that you guys got back in the studio and are pressing forward. I understand his son kind of stepped in and joined you guys. Tell us about that.
Well, absolutely. Well, Jason was really kind of was an automatic shoe-in, really, because uh, out there on the road, Melvin used to bring Jason along. So Jason was on the tour bus with us on a couple of tours, and he witnessed most of everything that he wound up doing. So it was kind of in him already. It wasn't really a difficult transition. The thing was, we never knew that Jason sang. It was a mystery.
Until when?
Whoa, my goodness! I think I learned that my nephew sang. Ramon Baines.
Oh, I
You
know
know
her. That's
Ramon
my
Baines?
girl. Yes, of course.
Ramon Baines.
Major publicist.
Absolutely. She was the one who told me, "Oh, you know your nephew sings, don't you?" I said, "What?"
That is
Yeah, so
hilarious. What?
yeah. We had no idea, but after we had stopped recording and we were out there on the road for a while, and Melvin was working with his family. There were times where he just wasn't going to participate in the performance of it when we decided to kind of crank it back up, at least wise do the live performance shows. And so Jason stepped right on in and carried the torch, and he was in the mix for a good, what'd you say, maybe 10 years, Keith? What would you say with Jason?
I think it was around 13, 14.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
so he
fantastic.
About 13 years, yeah.
And then, once Jason joined your group, how would you say how did it change the dynamic, with you, with After Seven?
Wow.
Well, quite honestly, I don't think much changed. I mean, Jason tried to fulfill some big shoes for his brother, but he brought a lot to the table. It was still the DNA of the Edmonds brand was still influenced in our sound, in our presentation, and it wasn't like he was trying to be his dad ever, but he always would bring the best that he had to the table, and it still had that Edmonds tonation. So it worked. There was a lot of enthusiasm on his part to sit in, and it had to be a proud opportunity for him to sing the parts that his dad sang over a long period of time. And, it worked. It just fit. I mean, he had toured with Face. He spent time touring with Kevon and his solo projects. He had often sang some of the same parts that he was going to sing. Later, he sang with After Seven. He sang when he was with Kevon. So he assisted on some. Yeah, it was just kind of like tailor-made, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Look at God. You know what I mean? It's like, here's this band, and you guys, I mean, you just have that Midas touch, your whole family, the Edmonds family. Look at Babyface, look at you guys, and there's a similar sound that, you guys have to your brother and to Babyface, but yet different. You've, kind of created your own thing. And here along comes Danny. So let's talk to you about when you joined the band and that whole experience.
The whole experience. Well, it started with a phone call from Kevon. He told me that his longtime friend, legendary producer, songwriter Daryl Simmons, he gave him my number, and Kevon mentioned to me that he was looking for a singer to be the possible third member of the group. I sent him some videos just to check me out and see if I fit the glove right. He gave me the thumbs up afterwards. Immediately, I started working with Keith Mitchell on the music and the choreography. He gave me the thumbs up, and there was one more person that I had to go through, and that was Oscar award-winning choreographer Jamel Graves, who has been After Seven's choreographer for quite some time. Once he gave me the thumbs up, that's when it was a go. We got to getting these shows together and making sure that I had my steps down, and just the fellowshipping and it's just been phenomenal for me.
I bet. I mean, just the thought of knowing that you're going to audition for After Seven, that had to be maybe mixed emotions in the beginning, like a dream
Yeah,
come
yeah.
true, but then again, shaking in your boots because
That's right.
he didn't say this is your gig. It's
That's
like you
right.
can try out.
That's right. Yep. I took it just as that. I didn't act like I already had it. So when Keith and I started getting the rehearsals or whatever, he was just like, and one, and two, no, like this, like spin like this, But he had me going, and I was just like, okay, well, this is what needs to happen. Thank God, I was semi prepared for the situation, considering my background. But now being with After Seven, they've kind of groomed me in a way where I've been a bit polished now in my appearance and how I present myself with After Seven. So it's been great. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, you guys, it's not enough just to be able to sing. What if Danny came in and he's got this voice, but what if he just wasn't blessed with that rhythm gift? If he couldn't dance, would it be, look, man, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I mean, would that have been a deal breaker?
Well, I'd say I can't say it would be a deal breaker because you got to give a guy a chance. But it was some big shoes to fill because the choreography is a signature part of our presentation. We illustrate our lyrical story in most of the choreography. So it was a must have, but I think we'd have gave him the time. Like he spent close to 2.5 months with me. And so, what he showed then was that he had a knack for learning it, but the details would take more time. And so that's kind of where we've been. It's a growing process, how he's learned and how we learn. And but I don't, I don't know if we'd let him down because the man's got some pipes that he can sing.
You'd work it out somehow.
He can sing.
You'd be like, all right, Danny, you'll be
that same.
That's coming straight from a king. Thank you, King.
There you go. Oh, I love it. And I also love how, the groups from back in the day, the Temptations and the older, really old school bands, they had to dance. They had to be able to sing. They had to be able to really engage their fans with everything. It wasn't just the voice. It was the look. It was the moves. It was everything. And you don't see that as much. And we love it. Young, old, we all are here for it. So it's like that extra step that you keep that integrity in your band. And where does that come from? Is it just the history? It's just where you started? What makes you keep that?
It's a part of it, I think, is what we grew up with. It's what we saw. We thought that was the total package, the total and complete performance that you offer a person who's willing to spend money, buy a ticket, come out to see you and be entertained. So from the top to the bottom, you want to give them everything that you have, how you come, how you enter the stage, what you're wearing while you're there, how you move, how you speak to them, how you sing. All that is just important. And I never want to shortchange. We never, I don't think we ever want to shortchange our fans from getting the total package. That's what we think is a total package. Now I know today it may be a little bit different, but we're gonna do what we do until we up out of here.
I love that so much. I mean, you know your lane and you perfect your lane. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, 32 years of doing what you do this year? Is it 32?
Sí, señorita.
Yes, it is.
Oh my, bravo for the 32. Goodness. What a blessing. I mean, to do what you love and to just be on the top of your game. I mean, as you were saying a little bit earlier, and I think it was you, Kevon, who said, you took that hiatus, and I think it was like a 20-year hiatus. It was a long time, and you guys weren't recording. And a part of it was saying, well, we were on top. And what if we can't match that? I'm glad you didn't let that stop you, because now you are back and you're just as amazing as ever. And I hope you never stop. So really, I mean, and what this past maybe year and a half has taught all of us is that life is kind of fleeting. And,
Right.
maybe now we need to seize, every single opportunity of life. That being said, what is different? I mean, you guys are back out there. I just reposted something on Instagram. You guys were, I think you were over at Sirius XM and just, performing, singing. Your voices are just pristine. And you haven't lost a thing. In fact, you're even better. You're better and better and better. So let's talk about you in 2021. What do we have to look forward to? What are you doing?
Wow. First off, let me share with you. When we came back in 2000, we started recording in 2015 before we finished the album 2016 Timeless. After we did the first song, we honestly didn't know what to expect. We only knew that we were going to go in and record. This was let's just go for it. And that was the mindset and attitude. So after we recorded that first song, we gave the mix engineers some time to kind of tighten it up and give us some kind of, decent type of level of listening that we could hear the record, see what it might sound like. So when we walked back into the booth, Paul told us, it's ready, come on guys, let's take a listen. And the word you chose was amazing, but that's what it was for us. We were amazed, we were astounded at the integrity of the sound that was still intact for us as a group who had been away for 20 years and hadn't recorded, and to come back into the studio and for God to have preserved us well enough to be able to go in there and deliver a song like that. We, quite honestly, at that time, we felt like if we didn't do any other song, we felt like, whoa,
This is it. This is our legacy.
Absolutely.
Well,
wow.
And
pardon me?
If I can just interject, during that time, the time before you went back into the studio, and you said, you're right. I mean, God blessed you to still be intact. Were you still, and this is a question for all of you, what were you doing to keep your instrument sharp? And what do you do as vocalists?
Ooh.
Just your DNA, just born with it. I woke up like this.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
I was afraid of that. But to the kids who are watching, you need to practice. Everybody's not like them.
Danny, tell them what they need to do. No.
It's called muscle memory. You practice, you practice, you practice. And I think for all of us, it was just something like a joy. Maybe it even became therapy after a while, that you just love to sing all the time. You love to mimic something all the time, that it just became something that was a part of you. And then eventually, apparently to the world I can sing. That's what that is. Okay, I can sing. Okay, I can sing. And then you just keep going with it, But really though, there's no formula to how I would like to say there's no formula to how we do it, because it's now muscle memory. It's been embedded in our throat to our brain kind of thing. You know what I mean? So thank you, God, as Kevon was doing. So, yeah.
So in other words, stay ready. You don't have to get ready.
Hey.
Pretty much. But, I was going to say, in staying ready to get ready, it's to how you live. And I think spiritually speaking, we come from a God point of view spiritually. The way Kevon and myself were raised around a Pentecostal church, singing and praising God and learning about the Word of God has been a essential part of who we are. And so when you have that to go along with the talent that we were afforded as young kids, as Danny was saying, how you just, when you start singing, you just singing, and people might tell you, oh, boy, you can't sing. But it wasn't whether or not you thought you could sing. It was just something that came out of you, that God had gave you, and you just did it. But I think honestly, we live a clean spiritual life. We don't get inebriated. We don't do drugs. We get our rest. And at our age, it's important. And so, but that's something that we've practiced from the beginning, you know, even when we were touring, when we were 33, 34 years old, you know, we get off the stage, take a shower, take your clothes off, we go to the bus, and we jumping in them bunks. We'll talk about the show for about 35, 40, 50 minutes, and we was going to sleep because the next night you got to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way we figured that out pretty swiftly, that you got to get your rest. So there was just some things that just came natural. But, you know, if we're going to give credit, we're going to give credit to God and the fact that some way, somehow we as individuals found a way to take care of our bodies and our minds.
I love that. And,
So
you know, it goes a long way, because just how you live, that is, you know, and especially as the years go on, but even just along the way, it matters, you know, getting the rest.
Yeah.
I was talking to Rochelle Farrell, this was years ago, about, she was at one of the jazz festivals, and we were just talking about voice. And, you know, I sing jazz, but I'm also a voiceover, you know, actor. And preserving your voice that's my instrument. That's my bread and butter. So, and Rochelle was saying that with her, she just looks at it as your whole body is your instrument. You've got to exercise. You've got to get your rest. As you were saying, you've got to stay hydrated. And, you know, like you guys, you know, I live a clean lifestyle. I think it all matters. It definitely matters. And with the grace of God, y'all still singing and sounding really good and looking good. I was talking to one of your people, and they were telling me about all this things that you guys are doing right now. And I know you were doing a series, wasn't it, for Sirius XM or something? And I know you were singing the national anthem coming up soon. Talk about what you're doing these days.
Right. Okay. Well, I think tomorrow, I think we will be singing the national anthem at the NBA playoff game, the first one to take place here in Atlanta. Here with, I think it's a yeah. So
that's a hard song to sing, isn't it? Woo!
When they put a time frame on it, yeah. When they put a time limit on it, it's actually. I'll tell you something interesting about that song, though, and I do love the song. I've always loved the song. So, oftentimes when you've been put in these situations, the people will, you know, they want to test you, you know, because, like you said, they think it's a difficult song to sing. I've never thought that. I've always loved it, but. They'll say, well, look, not to worry. If you get lost, just look up there, the jumbotron. The lyrics will be going by. Don't you worry.
Good.
You start the song and you're singing, and there's never any lyrics that show up on the jumbotron. So you know, it's the setup. Right?
They're setting you up for failure. So many celebrities. I mean, they're just probably looking to put something on the blooper reel. So many celebrities. I'm sure they studied the lyrics, but they get caught up in the moment and start making up words. And, you know, just, oh my gosh. And that's why I'm sure people feel like, well, maybe it's just a really tough song to sing.
It's a tough song to sing, but I've always enjoyed it. But I'll tell you this, for me, like I said, I've always enjoyed singing. It was a way for me to give honor back to the troops, our armed forces, those people who fight and protect us, so that we get to live the kind of lives that we live here in this country and have the kind of freedoms that we have. So it was always important for me to be able to do that. But I'll say this, probably over the last 5 or 6 years, ignorant as I was to the second, I guess the second stanza of the song, I didn't fully know all the lyrics to the national anthem. Right.
What happened?
So when I learned that, I have to be honest, it had me feeling some kind of a way, and it made me very reluctant and reserved about going out and being willing to do the song anymore, because I felt like it was expressing something about this country that is such a dark
the racism.
The racism, and that we, you know, all for the many years I was saying ignorant of the fact that was part of it, you know, and I was singing ignorantly and with pride about the song, knowing those lyrics. Nobody's fault. I should have done the research, but I never did. But I'll tell you the one thing that made it better for me, And that was the young lady, Amanda Gorman, the
Oh,
young lady who spoke,
poet.
the poet. She just spoke about an America that could be in her poetry that just opened me up in a different kind of way.
Wow.
Because I felt like that song wasn't for me. I felt like it didn't reflect who we were as a country. But you know, this country's made up a lot of different things. But she was such a hopeful individual in the way that she puts her words together and how she strings them along, and her thoughts and ideas are so enlightening that I have to say she brought me back to the table, because I pushed away from the table. But she is such an influence to be such a young person and have such a depth of feeling and appreciation for the things that we all live through. That it's a human factor. It's a human thing.
Yeah.
The way that made me say, you know what, I can come back to the table and do this thing with the kind of pride that I once did before. But
I love that, and I think you've helped us just by pointing that out, because I mean, what we've been through, what the world has witnessed, you know, the racism that still exists in this country, you know, even with people who don't realize, you know, maybe they don't realize that they're being racist, and you know, with their old perspectives that they've learned from their parents and their parents, that, you know, it is a wake-up call, and we do have an opportunity to learn from the past and to grow. I'm so happy that you pointed that out, because I think, you know, we all can look at it that way and share that perspective and be open and hopeful. Yeah,
we all can do better. We all can do better.
Yeah, we can all do better. Anybody else on that? Oh, yeah?
I was going to say, anybody else can share all the other things. I've talked enough. Anybody else can share all the other things that we got going on. That we're working on.
On June the 19th,
on
June the 19th, we'll be performing a Black
Music
Honors on Bounce TV. So it's a host of other artists.
That's awesome.
It's going to be airing on the 19th, and it's going to be aired on 200 other networks. So that's a really great plus. Matter of fact, from my understanding, it's airing as of now. It's been airing for maybe a couple of weeks on other networks, but it will officially be airing on Bounce TV on the 19th.
Very nice, very nice. And it's the Black, what is it? Black Honors?
Black Music Honors.
Black Music
Honors. Okay, which is great, right? In Black Music Month. Oh, I love it. So you guys are coming out. I mean, it's like, all right, they've said the world is opened up, or at least the country is opening back up. Y'all coming out gangbusters. You're like, okay, then, since we're here, let's get it in. You know, and you want to talk before you guys leave, and I love that you're spending so much time with us tonight. Our listeners love you so much, almost as much as I do. I'm your super fan. But, you know, we're all just so happy that you're here and that you're spending time. And can we talk a little bit about your latest single? The producers who wrote it. What's that?
I'm sharing the floor. Who wants to take that question?
The song was produced by a male and female production team, Shakespeare, and the track was produced by a guy, J Cash, Get the Bag, and they came to the table with that. They came to the table with that song by the road through Stokely, formerly of Mint Condition.
Yes, I love them producers.
Too. Yeah, they were working with Stokely's production team, and he thought that some of the flavor that they were doing for other artists might be something we wanted to take a peep at. And we listened to about 5 or 6 of their songs, and they came, you know, it was different. Of course, that young track, the beat was just very contagious. But the lyrical content, and as we're starting to see, not just ourselves from recording it, but the response that we're getting from the public about those lyrics, it touches on pretty much every person who lives, who has known any one person. And it doesn't have to be some type of a love relationship. It could be somebody at your job. It doesn't matter. But Bittersweet, there's
It
always some
applies.
good. Yes, it always applies to the
Yeah.
relationship. So it's such a great song,
It's such a
lyrically,
great song.
and fun to perform as well.
And it's so cool. I mean, like you said, it's a young producer, it's a young track, but it's not a departure from your signature sounds. Not, you know what I mean? People aren't
Not
gonna,
at all.
they don't listen to it and say, oh, they're going in a different direction. Oh, no, you're not. This is still after seven, quality. And we are
R&B.
here for it. It is R&B, and it is good R&B. Yeah, so good. And so I know we're all in our different locations. And, I was just playing Ready or Not yesterday. But I was just going to ask, I mean, you have the opportunity to say yes or no. But since you're always keeping your voices in pristine condition, if you can kind of hear where I'm going. Jasper and I wanted to know. Wait a minute. If you feel like singing a little something, I'm happy to just, sit here and
Here's
enjoy
what
the serenade.
Here's what I would say. We would love to serenade you if we were all in the same location. The problem with us trying to sing, we're in 3 different locations. We can't sync.
Right.
No.
Does that make sense?
You don't think so? You don't think so? People have done it
To
before
sync the harmonies.
on this platform.
They have?
Oh yeah, many times, and it works. It's just a matter of if you feel like just giving it a shot or not.
I tell you, how about we just let Mr. Sky High give you a little sample of some Ready or Not, How about that?
You know what we sound like. Let's hear what Daniel has to say.
All right.
I'm here for whatever you want to give me. You want a solo? Shall we get out while he's singing? You want to give it to us? Is this
Right
Danny?
on, yeah, sure. Oh, well, before we even go there, I would like to point this out. For all of you that are watching, please make sure you follow our social media handles, which is at After7Music on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at after7music.com, even the YouTube. I think that's the Vimeo too, but definitely had to put that out there. All right, so this
I
is
love it. Okay,
right
here
on.
we
This
go.
is
We're
an
gonna give
honor
you the
and great
floor.
Lovin' Evans. I'll give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. I'll give you the world and all that you wish for, and even more. Girl, I love you more than you could know, and that's for sure. I'll climb the highest hill, cross the widest seas. Nothing will discourage me. And I'll pray that you'll be always there for me forevermore. Whoa, ready or not. Y'all out there, y'all come on, sing. I'll give you everything and more. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Awesome, sir.
I was waiting for y'all to join in. That was beautiful, Daniel McLean.
Thank you.
And so, you know what? I am just so honored that you all are here with us tonight, spending time. And I got my little serenade. Wasn't it wonderful, Jasper? We're all so grateful for that. And thanks for shouting out your social. Do it again. And if you want to shout out your personal page as well. And we'll start with you, Danny, since you serenaded us so beautifully.
Everybody will be able to find us on at After7Music on Twitter, on Instagram. You'll be able to find all our pages, but I might as well say it anyways. Mine is at I am, is a long one, at I am Daniel Sky High McLean. You will find me there.
Kevon.
I am the real Kevon Edmonds 7.
The real. You got to put that in there. Yes.
Just plain old Keith M. Mitchell.
Okay.
Ain't no playing about him. Ain't no playing about him. Don't let him throw you down.
I
Nothing
did want to
plain
add
about
that
you at all.
we want your listeners to continue to look forward to that unfinished business that After Seven's got to take care of.
Yes.
And you know, keep looking for it, because it's getting ready to hit you real soon. So, but it's times 11. So we gave you Bittersweet. Trust. It's the love that you got for Bittersweet. You're gonna find 11 more like that.
Oh, yes.
So,
oh my gosh.
We're branded with the old feel of After Seven, new feel of After Seven, line dancing After Seven, stepping After Seven, and we got that club banger. The club.
Yes. I am here for the club banger. Yes.
Yeah, we got all that. It's all coming out.
So this sounds like this is going to be an album. This is an album coming out.
Oh, yeah.
It's an album that is completed. Yeah. It's an album that is completed. It is titled Unfinished Business.
Oh my goodness, I am ready. Yeah. All right. We're going to keep our eyes and ears open. And if what you guys are doing now is any indication, it is going to be fire. Y'all are not playing any games. Pandemic is over, and everywhere you look, After Seven is right here. Keep doing that, guys. Keep doing it. That's all we want. And thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for joining us on this edition of HUR at Home. I am so excited. I love these guys. We love their music. WHUR has been rocking their music, and we will not stop. Thank you for keeping us the #1 music station in the DMV. Make sure you keep listening and go to WHUR.com. We bring you the best artists like tonight. And you can go to WHUR.com and get the complete lineup. Have a good night.
Thank you.